Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Britt and I'm the owner of Even If Camo Company. And in this video, I wanted to go over the pigments that I use for my concrete vessels. I've had many people ask me the numbers or the names of the pigments or how much I use of the pigments per vessel, what I mix to make a certain color. So I really wanted to just put it all in one video for you, so it's just something you can look back on and I don't feel like I am making the same comment many times to different people. So let's get started. So when I first started making concrete vessels, I knew I wanted to add pigment to them and have my own colors and different variants per scent. But I wasn't sure really how to go about how many to get and how much of a pigment to get. And you know, it's kind of a learning experience, and I learned by just testing and just figuring out that way. So when I first started getting the pigments, I would get little bags of them. They would be less than a pound, like pretty small bags of different colors, just to see what color represents, you know, me and what I want the company to look like. And so I did a lot of just testing to see which ones I like the most. All of my pigments come from Direct Colors. So you can find everything on directcolors.com. This is not a promotion. I'm not getting paid to say any of this. It's not, you know, it's not a partnership or anything, but I really do love their product. I use it and I've only used Direct Colors. I've never used any other brand. So I stick to what works, and so they haven't let me down yet, and I've been using them for 2 years or so. So I definitely recommend Direct Colors. I'm going to show you what colors that I use now and just go over, you know, the names of them. I know on the site it also shows a number if you go by the numbers as well. So I'll provide the numbers and the information on that as well. The first color, and I would say the most popular color, I wrote it all down here, it's Smokestack. And that's number 102. And that is actually this color. This is how they ship. If you get a pound or more, these are a pound bag, and a pound lasts a long time. I don't really like how they come, to be honest. I think it can be really messy. I don't even really want to touch the bag. As you can probably see, there's color throughout the handle, because what they do is they put it in a plastic bag, all the pigment, and then they just twist it, and then they tape the twisted handle. So you have to cut that tape that they use around the handle, and then good luck. It's gonna go everywhere, it seems. I don't know. I've been very careful with it, and it still seems like it just goes everywhere. So make sure you're pouring your pigments. If you keep it in the bag, that's fine. But make sure you are being careful and you're not doing it, for instance, on a white quartz counter. It will stain it, and it's really difficult to get off. So yeah, like I said, these are pound bags. So when I first started making these vessels, I started off getting the smaller versions. You can get less. They come in I think they come in 8 ounces, and you can get like little samples too that you pay for. But yes, I didn't start off by getting huge bags because I wanted to see what color I liked to work with the most and what would sell in your area the most. So start off, if you haven't gotten pigment yet, start off getting a smaller bag just to make sure you like using that color and you like how it turns out. My next popular, and it's right by the Smokestack, is the white. So it's a titanium oxide, and it comes up as a number of 205, It used to be TiO2. I don't know, sometimes they change it, so just look, but this is great. I love using the white. You can mix it with any color, and it lightens, obviously, any color that you're using. And you don't have to use it with a color, you can just add that, and it makes a really nice white vessel. For instance, don't mind, I was practicing on a different way of doing things. But anyway, you can see the white, hopefully, compared to just the natural. I don't know if you can see that. But there's quite a difference, and it does make it pop more. So I do really I like the natural look, but I do like adding a little bit of a pop to it. I think it just looks better. But I will say, because of the way I make them, I don't seal my vessels on the outside. So the white can get fingerprints on it. If you're handling, if they're newer, especially newer vessels. But if you're handling a gray vessel and then you touch a white vessel, you will probably get like gray finger marks on it. And I don't know how to get it off. I tried. And because I don't seal the outside, I think that's probably the biggest reason why I can't wipe it off. But because I like the raw look, I just try and just be extra careful when I'm handling the white vessels. Now there's another color that I love to use, and it is the olive tree, I think it's called. And it's 103, the number 103. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's an olive green color. And I brought out examples because what I do is I'll sometimes manipulate the color, and I'll add, like I said, the white color to it to lighten it. Sometimes I want it to just be a softer color. I don't want it to be so blunt. So it is a beautiful color. I love it for springtime. Even wintertime, it's because it just reminds you of trees and things like that. So it's just a all around good color. Another color that I use, it's a tan yellowish color, and that's 104. And so I'll show you. This is with white added, and this is just the plain color. Okay. And then the last color is like a reddish color. That is 122. So these are my mini vessels because these are the only ones that I could find that I could compare the two colors with. So it's more of I named this like a blush color. This is with the white added. And then this is with, don't mind the gold swirl that's in there, but you can get the idea that this is a darker reddish maroon color. It's quite a difference. It's pretty neat. I love the idea of creating my own colors. I like mixing them. I love being more creative and making them just my own. So don't be afraid to create your own color, and whatever your vibe is, whatever you like to really show and represent your business, go with that and test out and see what works best for you. I have had people ask me in the comment sections if the pigments that I use are iron oxide pigments. And I had to kind of look into that. I knew for the most part what the answer was, but I'm like, you know what? I really want to give a further detailed version. So when you're looking at like yellows, if you think of iron oxide, it's like rust. It's an oxidation of iron is what iron oxide is. So when you think of rust, you think of like the yellows, the reds, black is also another variant. But those are the colors that are typically under that category. I've used the white, which is the titanium dioxide, and I've used both. Neither of them are harmful in using in this craft. So I don't really know if it matters that much, but it is cool to know the details on the product that you're using. And so when you go on Direct Colors website, each color has its own PDF form that drops down, and it'll show you all the details. They have to legally put out all the data that in regards to that color. So I find it really interesting that you can actually look at each color and you can see everything in regards to that color. So if you guys have any questions on the colors, it's easy to find. And like I said, it's available on each color. So they're really informative. That's another reason why I love this site. And another fun fact, titanium dioxide is actually used in like powdered makeup, like the pressed powders and the loose powders. It's also used in sunscreen. So yeah, just wanted to let you know that when you guys comment on something and I don't know the full answer, I really do try and invest time into researching what that really means so I can give you a realistic answer. And I really do care that you guys comment on my stuff. So I take the time and I look into it if I don't know all the details. Okay, so I saved the best part for last because most people are asking me how much pigment I use per vessel. That took a lot of testing because when I first started out, I felt like I needed to use more of the pigment. So when you mix pigment into the concrete, you can't really see the color that drastically when it's dry. So because I mix in the dry first before adding water, it can kind of trick your eyes into thinking you need to add more. So when I first started making them, I would add 6 grams most of the time. That was the limit. It's really not needed. I really like to be efficient in the products that I use. I want to use my money wisely, and so I really did try and test and see, what amount of grams is appropriate per vessel. So I'm always looking for ways to be a little more efficient with the product that I buy. I want to see how long it'll last for, but also is the quality of the product still there if I lessen. After I was using the 5 to 6 grams of pigment per color per vessel, I can probably use less and just test it out. And I realized that doing 3 grams per vessel looked really similar to using the 5 or 6. There really wasn't much of a difference. This is all just my opinion and the testing that I've done and through the experiences that I've had. My product is still quality product either way. So I realized that just the colors didn't seem to make much of a difference with the 3 extra grams in there. So I do stick with the 3 grams per vessel. Now I will say that if I mix colors, so if I have, a gray, the smokestack color, and I want to make it a lighter gray, you can add, what I typically do is I add 2 or I match the amount of pigment that I'm using of the white. So if, for instance, if I'm using 3 grams of the smokestack, I'll do most likely 3 grams of the white just to make sure it's an even color. But I've even tested with 2 grams and that's fine as well. I think it's easier for me to remember. That way I'm not constantly looking at my recipes. So I do try and make it easier for me to remember, okay, 3 and 3 is easier easier just for me to retain. There are so many colors that you can buy or create. So just have fun with it. Create what you'd like to see. And if it doesn't work, keep trying. That's what I've done with all the colors. I used to buy more than these few examples that I showed you. But that was in the beginning before I knew, okay, I can actually use this color and make this other color that I'm already buying. So I try and just utilize what I have instead of just buying that color that I can already make. So one other thing that I wanted to tell you guys was how I store my pigment. So these are the lock and lock containers, and I'll link them in the description below. But they are very convenient. When I first tried the pigments out, I didn't really know about these. So I would buy the long plastic tubes and they had the screw-on lid. And I thought, okay, I can have them nicely placed out on a rack and this and that. They did not work. I realized how inconvenient it was to have to unscrew it all the time. And it was, you know, kind of awkward to scoop it out of the tube and this and that. So anyway, like I said, a lot of testing, but I had fun with it either way. But these are the lock and lock containers that I use. And there's a 4-hinge locking system. They have this blue strip here that seals, and it opens. I usually use this opener right here. But you can also unlock it completely like this and take off the whole top. So that's what I do when I buy pigment, is I'll cut the top tab of these right beneath the tape, and then I will, if it's really full, I'll scoop it first a little bit to contain it a little more, and then I'll dump. But yeah, I just use, a plastic spoon, and I just, it's so convenient. I really like these. I've had these for over a year now, and they've lasted me this whole time. So like I said, I will link in the description below, and you guys can have the option if you'd like to try them out. I do recommend using these lock and lock containers. Those are just some of the things that came to my mind when I wanted to create this video. I just wanted to throw in all those points that I mentioned. So if you guys have any further questions on anything regarding this video, just let me know in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer you. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed and liked and shared my videos. I really do appreciate the time that you put in and just this journey that you're on with me. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't for you. So I really, really do appreciate it. And for those of you who haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It really does help my channel, and it pushes my channel out to other viewers that could potentially need my help on this craft. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait until the next video. God bless.